Welcome to Screams and Streams. In this episode, we will be discussing scenes in the film that deal with sensitive topics, including rape and sexual assault. We understand that these subjects can be deeply triggering and distressing for many listeners. We encourage you to take care of your mental health and well-being. If you find yourself in need of support, please reach out to a trusted friend or a professional. Listener discretion is advised.
She's masturbating. It's an entire circus she's invented is to cover up what every little girl does.
I love the way he says the first bit. She's masturbating. It's like, okay, Columbo.
Welcome to Screams and Streams, the podcast that looks at the best and worst horror movies as rated on Rotten Tomatoes from 1970 onwards. I'm your host, Mike Karen, and with me are my co-hosts,
Chad Campbell
and
Sam Schreiner.
Be sure to check us out on Instagram. Our handle is @ScreamStreamPod. Also, check out our website at screamsandstreams.com for more information about all the films we are looking at. Just a warning, if you don't like spoilers, we recommend that you stop listening now, check out the film, and then rejoin us for our discussion. Today, we are looking at Sidney J. Furie's 1982 film, The Entity. It scored 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's get into it. Sam, do you want to start us off with our plot summary, please?
A woman is tormented by an invisible being. That is from IMDb. I do have another one.
The detail of that is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, if you go on, there's like one short one and lots of long ones. So here's a more detailed one for our listeners. Carla awakens one night to find herself being beaten and raped by an unseen presence. Terrified of what's happening to her and shunned by friends and family who think she's lost her mind, she seeks help from parapsychologists. The researchers soon discover that an evil spiritual force has been drawn to Carla and is responsible for the violent attacks. The question now, however, is how do they stop it?
That's a much better one.
Yeah.
I wrote the first one. A woman is tormented by an invisible being, and in brackets, LOL. So I made sure I had to back up.
Thank you for that. We're now going to get into our sinister sip for this film. And the cocktail in front of you is The Invisible Hand from criminalelement.com. Cheers, everybody.
Oh,
There's layers to this drink.
we're all just kind of puckered up here. Like,
It's a lot of... It's because it's lemon juice, simple syrup, club soda, gin, and elderflower liqueur.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of botanicals in this one.
Yeah. It's a garden.
It is, and it kind of looks like this.
It looks like mud.
It does.
Yeah. I do a rich Demerara syrup, so it's a brown sugar syrup, not a clear syrup.
Oh, I see. Okay.
A little murky, but
So it's not a win in the sinister sip.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink it. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's
Ain't
going
to
down the
waste.
hatch, but it's
Not
like,
the worst one we've had.
No, but it's not the best.
No.
I kind of like it. It was just a lot. Like
There's
layers.
a lot going on.
There really is.
It's very aggressive out of the gate, much like The Entity was.
Ooh, very aggressive right out of the gate.
Now let's get out of the gate with our first impressions. Chad, do you want to start with yours, please?
My first impression is writer Frank DeFelita hates men. Every man in this film is a dick. If you look at it, like none of the doctors believe her,
Right.
and they're all very condescending to her. The boyfriend,
Boy toy.
Jerry?
who I don't get their relationship. The guy looks like 30 years older than she is.
Slimeball.
And he's a grease bag.
Hated him.
And I didn't like him. The sister's husband didn't like him. George. He's a prick. None of the guys in here are likable. Even the university guys are just trying to find out. Like, they come in and think she's crazy, first of all. Oh, yeah, okay. And then when they find it, they're willing to put her life at risk just so they can get this thing caught. So they're in it for their own selfish reasons as well. So nobody is redeemable in this film.
Even Billy?
Billy, the one that the doctor...
No, the son.
The son.
Yeah, he thinks that the doctor thinks that the mom wants to have sex with him. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that one.
Well, I would say he's redeemable, except later on I mentioned that his shorts, his clothing just are
Leave Billy alone.
just awful. So just awful.
He's just
Therefore,
a child.
Yeah. Anyways, I've seen this film before. I really liked it the first time I saw it. This time when I watched it, I liked an hour and a half of it. And then the last half hour, I was get fucked. Like I was like,
Oh.
this is stupid. I actually put at the end sucks. So
All right.
so that was my impression of it this time.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, sorry.
Sam, what were your first impressions?
All right. Well, that's tough to follow up.
Apparently you can't like it.
Oh, you can like it. I don't care.
I wanted to like it, but I couldn't. So it was okay. There's a lot, but not. It's the same thing over and over. I found it really repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good things like the car scene that kind of bring you back to it, but it's essentially just a lot of rape and a lot of shitty humans around this person.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And the other one I had was the father of her children always leave. Like everyone that's fathered these children of hers have left her.
Yeah.
So like nobody's a bunch of deadbeat dads. So like every dude. Sorry, Sam.
No, keep going. You did that nicely.
All right. My first impressions, this is the second time I've seen it. Watched it about a year ago for the first time. I really liked it the first time I watched it and was really excited to do it for the podcast as well. Watching it this time around was interesting because I was like, this is a heavy topic.
Yeah.
We like to laugh and have fun. How do we do it with this one?
I know.
As we've laughed the entire last however many minutes straight.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
It's like you watch something by yourself. You're like, this is amazing. It's like, I'm going to show it to my friends. And then you're sitting there watching them react to it. Like, not the second viewing I thought it would be kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a real friend watcher. Like it's very dark.
Yeah, no, it was more of a general example. But yeah.
No, I know. Yeah. Sorry.
So rewatching this time, I kind of agree with you, Chad. Like actually both of your comments, by the end of it, it's like, oh, come on. Like they should have got to the final paranormal intervention a half hour earlier, even though it wasn't a great thing. And yeah, it became repetitive. Yeah. I still liked it. I still liked the effects in it. Stan Winston did an amazing job with the attacks, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't hold up on a second viewing.
Barbara Hershey's acting, like being attacked, I thought was really well done.
Yeah.
Like I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, kind of depressing. Like, I don't know. And then the ending kind of sucked. And I don't know.
Yeah.
The ending got really weird. And I was kind of annoyed that it took 2 hours to get there.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And and it was pretty upsetting. Like you just kind of felt a bit yucky. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not a real feel good movie. And it's hard to rewatch. Yeah. I would say.
Yeah. I think on a first time viewing, it's great, but yeah,
that was my first time viewing and I didn't think it was great.
I thought it was.
It was good, fine. Like it was, fine, but not.
Not great, like high end of our scale, great, but really enjoyed it the first time. We're now going to get into our tropes hall of shame, and I'm going to kick us off. And my first one is just like the affected person must be on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She goes to Cindy's house and is like, well, were you on something? Were you a little out of it? Like playful with it. And my second trope is just, young love turns bad. Right?
Oh, yeah.
She's 16 and on the road and pregnant and married, it seemed like.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's going to be terrible. She's going to be abandoned and alone in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chad, what were some of your tropes?
I had one that was you just never believe even when it's right in front of your face. Like that doctor is so annoying.
Oh, Snyderman?
Yeah. When he's just, no, it's all in your head. No, it's all in your head. And you guys are all supporting this and it's all false. And I'm the only real person that she can have contact with. And his inappropriate relationship with her was unsettling.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at one point I said, this doctor goes above and beyond. It was creepy. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I didn't like that. But yeah, they don't believe her even when all signs point to something is happening. Yeah. He still refuses. And the family does, and to a point until they're finally like, oh, now I see it. And but they have to see it. They don't believe that she's being attacked. She's breaking down and crying and having a mental breakdown. And they're still like, she's just crazy. Or on drugs.
Well, and Billy and the daughters are kind of just like along for the ride, it seems.
Yeah. They're just kind of tacked on. You don't even get really any arc with them. Mm-hmm. I mean, he gets tossed across the room and gets his arm busted. The kids like eat a fucking waffle or whatever that is with the whipped cream and stuff. Like you see them.
Oh, the sundae? Like
they see that you see them doing that. And then the rest of the time they're just screaming, Mom, Mom. and while she's being attacked. So that was my first one. My other one was getting ready for sex. The guy brushing his teeth, like combing his 3 hairs on the top of his head. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna get some loving.
The Banaka spray.
Oh God. And he's fluffing up his shirt with his like hairy chest and all that stuff. It was just grease ball. But you've seen that before. Where it's like, oh right, I'm gonna get lucky. I'm gonna get lucky, and yeah. And he's singing and dancing. She's told him that she's been attacked and has cried, and he's like, yeah, well, go put this negligee on.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do this. And he's so happy. Anyways, the getting ready for party time there is another one of mine.
I was watching that. I was just like, the kids are just across the hall.
Right?
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Sam, what were some of your tropes?
I had no one believes the victim. And just overall, Chad, you had mentioned how shitty everyone is. Like the shitty boyfriend, the shitty spouse, shitty ex-boyfriend. And then I said a comment here that her best friend's husband is awful. Like,
he's just horrible.
The worst. They were there for like 6 hours sleeping on the couch. And he's like, kick him out.
Yeah.
They better be gone.
Get him out of there. Yeah.
And then I had the fact that they just told the entity to leave. And then she's like, I have power. It won't touch me anymore. Yeah. And then it was like in like It, we see that. And the Nightmare on Elm Street where it's like disappears. And like it didn't disappear, but it stopped raping her, I guess.
But it didn't. At the end of the film, they said it lessened and it got less severe, but the attacks kept happening. And the other thing I didn't get is when she said that, she says, you can torture me, you can hit me, but you can't have me. And he's like, but he's had you several times.
Yes. It was.
There's no ground rules with the thing.
No.
I don't think it's listening.
Yeah.
My other trope is just, and I was hoping to get a bit more fruit off the vine with this one or something, but looking for answers in books.
Oh, yeah.
Like going to the bookstore. And so like we've done in the past, I've tried to pause it to see if any of the titles are fun or quirky. No, the section actually lined up with what she was looking for. And even on the other side, I was like, those books are all on topic. This isn't fun.
Yeah.
Chad, do you have another one?
The seeking help from a psychic or the university comes to help, right? And nobody else can help her except these guys that are willing to, come in there and check it out. So
and literally everyone came in there. There was like 100 people in that house. Like
every undergrad.
There's literally no privacy or anything.
They had them in bleachers. Like, and they were all sitting there on the bleachers. I was like, wow, you're going to let this happen?
Yep.
And Sam, did you have any others?
Another kid named Billy. It's my favorite one. There's always a Billy. It's always the kid.
Always a Billy.
Nice catch. Okay, we are now going to go into our one-liners. Sam, what was one of your lines that you liked?
Welcome home, cunt.
Oh, yeah, that's a gooder, yeah. I'm so glad you said that one.
I was going to make that the intro line. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, it's going to be welcome home, cunt.
I figured that was a little harsh to have right at the beginning.
Right out of the gate, eh?
I would have liked it.
The second last line of the film.
Yeah.
Or last line of the film. You're like, that's my first.
Yeah, there we go. No, I laughed because you don't expect it. Like throwing out the C word.
Like the welcome home is fine. Yeah, it does.
It didn't need that.
Didn't need to throw that one out. Yeah.
So that was my first one. And then when Dr. Snyderman goes, and he felt like a man, and she said a big man. And so, I was that's kind of yucky and not okay.
Kind of emasculates Snyderman, right? Because he wants to be the hero, the big guy. And it's like, was he a man? It was a big one. He's like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Chad, what were some of your lines?
I like this one to follow on your trope. Was it the best friend? She was a best friend or a sister? I thought she was a sister.
I thought it was a best friend.
I thought it was just a friend. Cindy?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So just a friend. So, honey, are you taking drugs? When men who are not really there start coming in and having intercourse with you, then it's time to see a good psychiatrist. That was one I had.
There's your Hallmark card.
Yeah. And then just to go off that one as well, when she's talking to Schneiderman there, and he says, it wasn't a real man that raped you? No, he evaporated. I was like, okay.
All right.
I'm going to stick with the Snyderman conversation for my first line. And it's when she's, I think, attacked the second time. And she's talking about how they had my legs and they pulled them apart and held them for him.
Right.
And he's like, what, like children? It's like, they aren't children. They're strong. He goes, dwarfs?
That was one of my what the fuck moments. Like, what?
And dead serious too, right? It's like...
And then I'm going to keep harping on Snyderman here because he is the worst part of this movie, but he drives her home from the hospital and she says, thanks for the ride. And he just says, and in a sleazy way, I hope my driving didn't scare you. It's how I find out if my patients trust me. And it's just like, what a douche.
Yeah.
Like, just a dirtbag.
There's just too much with him. And then I really care about her and all that stuff. And at the end, I love when she's like, but I don't want you to be that guy. And he just kind of shies away. And
it was so sad. And
like, get the fuck out of here, Snyderman.
Snyderman.
Chad, did you have another line?
Okay, so greaseball boyfriend. I think he says in that one scene, come on, it's my homecoming, about 4 times. Mm-hmm. He's just trying to get her to do what he wants. Come on, it's my homecoming. Put this on, it's my homecoming. I don't want any wine. Yeah, you do, it's my homecoming. It's just nonstop. So he's just a greaseball. I was like, how many times are you going to hit that? Mm-hmm. I'll just do this one as well. When he was like, I'm here for you the whole time. No more one night stands. No more, what else?
No more trips.
No more trips. No more one night stands. I was like, so you're fucking around on her this whole time. And now you're like, yeah, but now I'm with you.
Well, that's what I wondered. Did he mean like on the road he's having one night stands, or he's treating her like a one night stand? I didn't. I didn't know, but I was like, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. But I thought when he goes on his trips, he's having one night stands. She must know about him because he's saying that he's not going to have any more.
And with her toxic history with men, like it would sort of be on subject for her to be with a man that would still treat her that way.
Yeah.
God, he's the worst.
At the very beginning, I like the good typists get good paying jobs. It's just like, the 80s, like the secretary pool and things like that. And another line that I quite liked was when the doctors were talking. It's like, it doesn't take sex to make babies. And the other doctor leans forward. Now that's a fact I wasn't aware of. And then,
all those doctors sitting in that room just all talking about this one case. Is that how things were done? Like
maybe smoking a copious amount of cigarettes and pipes.
Tons of cigarettes. Like that whole room was just billowing smoke.
You guys are taking all my what doesn't hold
up.
Sorry. Typists as a job and smoking in the hospital.
Sorry.
Come on.
We'll stop talking about it.
No, it's okay. Keep going.
And my last line is George and Cindy leave, and within moments, all the windows start shattering.
Yeah.
And he comes back in and, Christ, she tore the fucking place apart.
Yeah.
Like somehow she did all of that.
All those windows busting. Yeah.
All right. And so with the amount of windows smashed, we're now going to go into our most gratuitous scene. Sam, what did you find most gratuitous?
The sounds when she's being raped and attacked, like the banging noise and the music and all that kind of stuff. I debated putting that into ear splitting or here. And I found it like, because it happens so often, like the first time you're like, holy shit. Yeah. And then it's all the time.
Every time she's attacked.
I found it a little
bit over the top. Yeah.
Yeah. And super aggressive.
Did you have another one?
Also, in terms of her being raped in front of her kids.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty horrific as well. So that was icky. Yeah.
Chad, what did you find gratuitous?
Well, mine are a little more lighthearted, I think.
Sorry.
So the gratuitous one I picked was the gap in the doctor's teeth. It was fucking huge. It's like you could have put another whole tooth in there. So that was one. And then my other one is the way she drinks the wine when she's telling like Greaseball about the rape, how she was attacked. She's just pounding that. It's like she takes so many sips out of it and just these little sips, but she just keeps going back for more.
Yeah.
I was just take a fucking swallow. Like she's so it was just too much for me.
And her teeth were lovely and purple by the end of it.
Yeah,
too.
That's right.
It's high quality wine right there. All right. Sam, did you have another one?
Luckily, my third and last one is lighthearted.
Oh,
so I'm not going to be a downer here. But the number of fucking lamps in her house.
It's
so many lamps.
And mirrors in her bedroom?
So many mirrors, so many lamps. And then when she broke the mirror with the lamp, I was like,
3 or 4 times.
So many. So many.
All right. Thank you for that. We're now going to move into terrifying or titillating. And I'm going to start us off. I don't really have, I don't know how to, I guess this is sort of I didn't know how to talk about this film because even though Barbara Hershey is beautiful, it's not like it's a titillating, none of the scenes are titillating, nor are they intended to be. But for terrifying, for me, it's that unseen power. It did do a good job of that lack of control.
Yeah.
So for me, it was terrifying, not titillating. Sam, what did you have for this?
That was mine as well.
Oh, okay. And Chad?
Well, I thought 1982 Barbara Hershey is hot.
Yes,
she was really good. But yeah, the terrifying part when she gets smacked, that first smack when it just happens, I was like, whoa. It was really well done in the way she reacts and stuff. Just to echo what you said, I don't think anything was titillating in this film.
No.
But terrifying for the first bit. I made mention before we started the podcast, I really liked the first hour and a half of this film. And so for the first bit, it was like, holy crap, like this thing is just relentless. Like it's constant. So yeah, I thought that little bit was terrifying. Yeah.
Thank you. And we're now going to move into stood the test of time. Chad, what stood the test of time for you?
Well, I thought the attack scenes stood the test of time and the special effects, those did it for me, except at the end. And I'll get into that later.
Okay, perfect. Sam, what stood the test of time for you?
So when the parapsychologists are there, they're watching a video of her in the room. And I thought that was kind of spooky and creepy. And I kind of wish they did more with it. But I liked what they did there. And it was kind of neat and a little bit different, I think.
Yeah.
And also her acting. I thought her acting was phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah, I thought her acting was really good.
Yeah, she was great. For me, this is a small one, but I quite liked it. Just a little flash on the screen. But the first time they go tearing out of the house and she's backing out of the driveway, she just drives over one of the kids' bikes and takes off, like doesn't care. So I was just like, that's a good little, like, to show the panic. There's no care.
For sure. Yeah.
And then, even though that gets a little tiresome by the end and a bit repetitive, some of the interviews and the conversations with Snyderman, I thought were pretty good in their back and forth.
Yeah.
Like they played off each other very well. His judgment and his accusatory questioning and the way she rebuffed him was quite good.
Yeah.
Another thing for me that stood the test of time was the angles in the film.
The Dutch angles? There were a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even the way the house sits on the street. Like it's not level with the street. Like there's constant reminders of things are off kilter.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite well done.
You didn't think there were a little too many of them? Like there was a scene where she's talking to the university guys where every single shot was off at that angle.
Yeah, maybe it does get gratuitous by the end of it.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. But I mean, if you thought it was fine, it was fine. To me, it just felt like they really hit that shot home.
Yeah, I could see it getting over the top by the end. I just appreciated it because it was always just like when she was in the shot or in the scene. Well, she's in most of the film, but she's always askew for the film. And I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't find it gratuitous. Like I didn't find it offensive or anything. But yeah, you're right. I guess that was kind of used a lot.
And then my last one is the invisible hand effect. I thought it was pretty good on her breast.
Oh, like, yeah. How did they, was that a dummy with like a pump on the breast or like how would they have done that, do you think?
I didn't find anything in the research. It must have been.
I didn't either.
Must have been something like that or like strings pulled underneath of the dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of different. Like you don't usually see that, but at this, I don't really know. Like it wasn't super like realistic. So all I thought it was like, only like 4 fingers and they were all in the same spot. It was like a claw, like which could have been, but like it was. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I don't think you were supposed to like it.
None of us. We already made it clear. None of us were titillated.
Nothing was titillating about that scene. I did think her bush looked weird.
And her hips?
Yes.
That had to be like a fake body because like
I think for sure it was. Yeah.
Do hips protrude 3 inches above?
I didn't really look that closely at it. Is this one of your back it up moments? I didn't look.
I didn't back it up or freeze it. All
it just froze on by itself. It just has a buffer.
No, it's because it's like bouffant. It's been backcombed.
I was going to say it was backcombed and hairsprayed out of it.
They teased it a little bit. I did make a comment that was like, holy bush.
Yes.
That was it. I was like, but no shame. Like, you do you,
no
girl.
Shame.
You do you, girl.
If you want a full thing, yeah, that's all right. But I just thought it looked weird. It didn't look like real hair. It looked, I don't know.
No, it was noticeably like a lot and long. And like...
It was large. It was large. It was gratuitous. But not titillating.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
By no means.
No one was titillating.
Nobody was pausing it. I was going to say, it reminded me of an SOS scratch pad that had been used too much.
But how long did you guys look at it?
Bouffant is...
I think bouffant is the word of the day.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right. Okay, we're now going to go to our eerie to ear splitting section, and I'm starting us off. I did want to talk about the attack music because, like, I did like it the first time I saw it. It did, it sort of did become overwhelming. But Chad, you had texted like, "Oh, the attack music is awesome."
Yeah.
And at that time, I hadn't watched it yet, so I couldn't remember what the music was.
Right.
And then when I started watching the film, I was like, "This is the Maximum Overdrive sound." Because remember when we talked about Maximum Overdrive, the chime, chime. So I've actually got.
Maybe that's why I hate it so much.
Yeah,
I fucking hated that movie.
So I've got I took the 2 sound bites. So we're going to play the Entity Attack so the listeners know what it is. And then we're going to play the Maximum Overdrive. So this is from the Entity. Yeah, so it's that throbbing, pulsing, punching.
Yeah.
And then this is what ruined it for Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I'd left Maximum Overdrive in the past, but here we are.
It comes back to haunt you.
It's the worst.
It's a little more AC/DC,
interesting.
Brian Johnson screaming, but still that same pulsating sound. Yeah. So that's what I had for eerie to ear splitting. Chad, what did you have?
Well, I actually liked the attack music, but I do agree that by, I don't know, the 5th scene that it was happening, I was a little tired of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they really went to the well too often with that. Like, I mean, we got it. It's intense. It's crazy. But yeah, they just kept going back to these scenes and using that music each time.
Yeah.
So when I texted you, it was right at the first one.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah. And then by the 3rd one, I was, all right.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
As soon as it, like the first time, you're like, holy shit. Like that's like, wow.
Yeah.
And then after, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We are now going to look at our what the fuck moment. Sam, what was your what the fucks?
The psychologist showing up at her house was wild. And I know we talked about how he was like going above and beyond, but that was a what the fuck.
Yeah.
You guys have already talked about most of my things, it seems. But when she said the 2 dwarves holding down her legs, I was like, what? Did I hear that right? And then the diagnosis being masturbation. I was like, is that a diagnosis? Like, really? But yeah, that's all I got.
Chad, what did you have for what the fucks?
My biggest one was the iceberg at the end.
Oh.
When they froze the entity and it turned into this like laughably sized thing of ice and just kept moving. They're like, we've got it. And I thought it was just silly and stupid. Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. So that was that one. And then my other one was when the psychologist, when he shows her those pictures in that scrapbook, like, look at these. Oh. These were what people thought haunted them. These were demons or whatever. And they're like out of J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. They're sketches of like goblins and things. And I'm like, you're showing her make-believe pictures of the... This is so stupid. And he's like, do you think these are real? Do you think these are real? And I was like, how condescending is this motherfucker?
God,
like, it's just so aggravating. He made me so mad. And I'm not sure if that's what was intended with that character, but I was so frustrated with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also thought it was creepy.
Yeah, 1000% creepy.
I have a what the fuck, but it's not to do with the film. It has to do with something on the IMDb website through the movie posters. So I don't know if it's includable or not. It's also visual. I'll put it on the website for people to look at. But you look at this and it's just, what the fuck for a movie poster?
Oh
yeah.
Like, it's,
was that the movie poster?
It's not
like,
the,
but
it's one of the advertising.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's,
that's not okay.
Barbara Hershey in the throes of, I would say, bliss, leaning back, enjoying. And that doesn't suit this. Could like seeing that, like imagine a couple like, ooh, let's go see this for a date night. And like, no,
that took a turn.
I will drive you home in silence and apologize.
I'm so sorry.
Well, she does at one time say she had an orgasm, right?
Yeah. And then suddenly she loses all credibility in the male's eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
How dare she?
All right. We are now going to talk about the back it up moments. And I am the only one that has anything for this one. It's the scene where she's laying in bed with Cindy and Cindy goes to bed like uncaring, no stress, but the shadows are dancing and Barbara Hershey, like just the look in her eyes and the fear and the anxiety of, is the attack going to come? I thought that scene was really good. And I picked it because this is a movie where, yes, the attack scenes are good, but those are not back it ups. And there's a lot of things that like I would not back up again, but appreciate it for what they were. And then just my other one is the smashing windows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one was good.
Yeah, at the house. Yeah. And now we're going to go to hiding in the shadows. Chad, what did you have in this category?
Well, I had a couple of questions. My first one was this very cold helium is everywhere and no one gets hurt. Like those things explode all over the place.
And noticeably lands on both of them.
Yes, and they're very wet.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like nobody gets frozen.
Yeah.
She goes into that double-paned protective shield barrier, which he just sprays and shatters. I thought that was supposed to be like impenetrable, which is why they put her behind there. If you're just going to freeze the glass and smash it, then what the fuck is the point?
And can we also talk about like the acting while the helium was going off? It was so over the top.
Oh, so over the top.
So bad.
Yeah. And he's running back and forth. The doctor, he gets kicked out of the house and then you have to go up and then he runs back in. Then they kick him up to the booth. If you want to see, you have to go to the booth. So he goes to the booth and then all of a sudden he's in the house saving her.
Yeah.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, I think I made a comment in my notes like, where did he come from? Like, why is he there?
He just appeared and grabbed her and then took her out and then everything like blows up and that's when they see the big ice thing. Those guys in the booth, the doctors that are supposed to help her, they just watched it all happen.
Yeah.
They didn't help her at all. They're just sitting there. Oh, wow, this is intense. Like,
I had
the relay's not working. We had this on a double backup.
the entity is manning the hoses. Like, what do we do?
And like, what was the plan? Like, I know the plan, but like, it didn't seem like a good plan.
It was not executed very well.
Or planned well. Nothing about
nothing.
It was wild. I have a note. It was like, this whole thing is bananas. Like, these are supposed to be like the most intelligent people. They're like university
professors or doctors or whatever. And that's why I said the ending sucked.
Yeah.
Is because that whole thing just took me right out of anything that was already set up at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
I think they could have ended that way better. Whether or not that happened, I sincerely doubt that they put her in a mock-up of her house and showered her with helium.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I watched that going like, ghosts are pretty stupid. Like, he follows her to the friend's house, fine.
Yeah.
But like, he's gonna, like, the ghost is like, oh, this isn't suspicious at all.
The cage.
Like,
another house.
I'll just wait till she's at her house, I guess.
And
Like,
it's
Got a perfect mock-up of your house, and that's a chemical toilet. I love how they make reference to that. It's like, there's no running water, there's no electricity, but we got a hot plate, and the fridge is full. It's like, what the fuck?
it made it sound like she was going to be there for a week.
A long time. And that thing attacks her like right away.
Yeah. Thank God, though. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Oh, man. If they dragged that on. If this film was any longer, I would have shut it off.
Oh, yeah.
It was just way too long.
It was.
For what it was.
Yeah. My first shadows it comes from a place of not having kids, but do kids really sleep that soundly? Where she's like moving them and there's all these things going on and they don't hear it. At even one point they even say like, oh, they're pretty deep sleepers. It's like, yeah, they're pretty deep. Is that normal for kids?
Depends.
It depends on the kid. Like, I know Emily has a hard time getting to sleep, but once she is asleep, like there could be an earthquake and she's out.
Oh, okay.
And my boy's the same way. Like once he gets to sleep, it takes a long time to wake him up. If you have to wake them up before they're ready.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah, I would say the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Once they're in that deep sleep, you can move around. You can take them from the car seat and put them
put them in the bed, and they'll just roll over.
You can you can change them into pajamas. They stay asleep for the most part, or sometimes they'll like stir a little, but they're still asleep.
Yeah, or they might be like, "What's going on?" Or they're almost like sleep talking or whatever, but they're not really cognizant of what's happening. So they are pretty resilient when it comes to sleeping. They just knock themselves out.
And those kids are pretty traumatized from being woken up all the time.
Okay, exactly. I don't want to wake up.
My next one is, I didn't understand why Cooley closes her eyes when the entity finally appears. They've set up this whole experiment and she's there to like capture the thing, and then it appears and she closes her eyes. It's like, isn't the whole point for you to witness this?
Yeah.
And yet, she turns her face away from her, turns her eyes away from it. It's just like, I didn't get it. You'd think that someone that is like the head of the Department of Parapsychology would be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I finally have it.
Yeah.
You're right. Actually, I didn't really think about that, but you're right. Like that's the whole thing, and everyone's like making fun of the parapsychologist the whole time, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sam, what did you have for hiding in the shadows?
Well, okay, I had that Billy was an MVP, even though Chad hates him. But Billy was doing everything. He was like, there's a TikTok trend. It's like a working mom, single mom who works 2 jobs. And like, he's doing everything. And then she's mad that he left the fridge. I would be mad too. And then like, he's there. He jumped up though. She got attacked and he was up. Like, he didn't think twice. He went to go look for whomever was in there. And like, he's a kid, right? Like, it's kind of crazy.
I just didn't like his clothes. I don't know.
We're just judging him externally.
As a character,
decked out in $1,000 Italian silk suit.
Well, I don't have shorts that are riding up my ass.
It was 82.
Fair enough.
So I also didn't really understand the like zapping, electrocution, like laser beam incident.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really understand that.
Sorry, remind me what part that was.
When they were watching her with the entity, when they like had her on video. And
they got the outline, the silhouette of the body.
Yeah.
So I didn't really understand that. And then I didn't understand too, like it like electrocuted Billy. And that's why he like shot back or whatever.
They didn't really explain any of that.
No. Yeah. Science.
Like it seems in these movies like you need to accelerate whatever's happening.
Yeah.
But it went from just physical to now like Return of the Jedi lightning bolt attack. Yeah. I didn't see the silhouette of a man when they were recording, and then suddenly like, and we got this picture of this perfect silhouette. I'm like, we did not see that.
We did not see that. They put that in afterwards.
Was the man the outline of the man in the room with us? We didn't see him.
Chad, did you have another hiding in the shadows?
Yeah, my question, and I was starting on it earlier, but it was like, how far was that couple from the house when it blew up? Because they had left.
Yeah.
She made the phone call. She wandered around a bit. Then the house exploded. And then Buddy's in his car. Was that our house?
Yeah, why would he be like, was that our house?
Why would
I was like, how do you know? You're in your car and you've driven down the road. Like, I don't know how you know that's your house. And then he turns around, they come in there, and then he's like, oh, she wrecked it. But they come in just as the last bunch of windows are getting smashed. It just confused me. I was like, how far are they?
Yeah.
Like, they were going off to his little event, and all of a sudden they're back.
Yeah.
So, that was my question there.
Okay, we are now going to move into our bonus features. Sam, what did you find while you were researching the movie?
The movie was based on the real-life attack of a woman in California named Doris Byther. According to her, she was constantly raped by the spirits of 3 men. 2 would hold her down while the 3rd raped her.
I had the monetary budget of $9 million, which is crazy.
Right.
Like, it seemed like a lot. And then box office was only 13.3.
Oh.
So it did not do very well.
No.
Chad, what did you have?
I had Martin Scorsese included this movie on his top 11 scariest horror films of all time list.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I have questions. What else is on that list?
I know. I'm going to look that up. Yeah.
Paddington.
I saw that a video game adaptation was developed.
Yes.
Which is bananas. Like,
I played it today.
Did you really?
You can play it online, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so what do you...
Yeah, what do you do?
Okay, what happens?
It's from the Atari days, right? So it's very 8-bit or 4-bit. All it is the entity is bouncing around, and you need to move the walls in to narrow it to make it move up to the next level before the level crushes it.
Okay.
It's like a weird version of like solo Pong almost or something.
Okay. I thought it was going to go in a different direction.
Yeah, well,
a little less rapey than the movie then.
I was like, is it, what are we doing here?
But I just don't know who's going to be like, you know what I want to do? Play the video game version of
the
this
entity.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. Jump on board with that.
What I found interesting was the international titles.
Oh, I love these.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like The Invisible Stalker, An Unknown Force. The Greek title is The Invisible Rapist. So it's like, you know exactly what you're going into with that one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even like a metaphor. It's just that's just what it is.
Yeah. This is what it is. You're in for a wild ride.
And then I think it's the German title is There Is No Escape from the Invisible That Haunts Us.
Oh.
It's just like I'm picturing
that's kind of like a deep
black and white art film of like
yes.
I am lonely, as am I. Rosebud. A rose with a soap bubble that bursts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, they do use a rose in this one.
They do.
that crumbles.
Chad, what else do you have?
All right. Yeah. Actresses Jane Fonda, Jill Clayburgh, Bette Midler, and Sally Field were initially sought for the role that was played by Barbara Hershey.
Yeah, can't imagine Bette Midler.
I could not see Bette Midler doing
At all.
this.
She's such a strong woman. Like, I just can't see her. Like, I get to see her on the first scene, like getting side, be like, "Oh, you don't do that to me."
She's like, you
hell
back
no.
the fuck up. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't see it. Actually, yeah, I couldn't see anybody else playing this.
Yeah, Barbara Hershey did a great job.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Sam, did you have any others?
In a July 2012 interview, the film's director said that he did not consider this movie to be a horror film.
Oh, yeah.
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 My last one is just sort of for name recognition. Stan Winston did the special effects for this. His list is amazing. Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, Aliens, Terminator, Predator, Avatar, Starman, The Thing, Friday the 13th Part 3. Well, that was a bit of a loss, but and Galaxy Quest and AI. He is a powerhouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had one more. According to Barry Taft, the director, Sidney J. Furie, didn't believe the real life story and just thought they were all a bunch of drugged out wackos.
Oh.
He'd fit right in those hospitals.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's just Snyderman is in disguise.
Okay, it is now time to place this film on our watchability scale. And it's tough because after my first watching, I would put it a bit higher. Rewatching it, like it's low on the rewatchability scale, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but it still got me. It still captured my interest the first time. So it's weird all that. I'm still going to go middle of the road 5. Sam, where would you put it?
I'd probably be really similar. I was going between a 4 and a 5. I'd probably put it as a 5. Yeah, just based on some of the other movies that we've seen. I wanted to like it more, but it was just okay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. When I first saw it years ago, I loved it. Like I would have given it a 7 or an 8. But rewatching it and then looking through and making the notes and kind of really looking at it again, yeah, I'd say a 5.
Perfect. Thank you. And with that, thank you very much for listening to us. Remember to follow us on Instagram. We are at ScreamStreamPod. Stop by our website, screamsandstreams.com, where we have information about our episodes, descriptions of our categories, links to our research, our watchability scale, and a page where you can recommend movies you want us to discuss. And please rate, comment on, and subscribe to our show on any of the platforms where you get your podcasts. Until next time, this has been Mike and
Chad
and
Sam.
Scare you later.